Hello, welcome to my kitchen, guys. It is Sunday and I am meal prepping for the week, and I am here to show you how easy it is, one, to meal prep, two, how to live the keto low carb lifestyle. So if you're joining me today, hello, how are you? Tell me if you're new, tell me if this is a replay, and tell me if you're watching it live. If you're watching it live, hello. Unfortunately, I can't really see the bottom and the comments, so I will kind of go over those comments at the end. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box. So, tricky today. I'm actually doing two recipes for you. They're both easy peasy. One is, well, they both are kind of the top of our list favorites, but I have not made either of these in quite a long time. So, we're gonna do it today. So again, guys, if you like seeing my videos on Tuesdays and Sundays, don't forget to tap the screen, right-hand corner, there is a notification. If you turn those on, it's gonna notify you when I go live. So let's get started. So today, I am making chicken salad, low carb, and I am making low carb keto bagels. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you need and how to do it. And again, like I said, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments and I will definitely get back with you. So thank you again for being here with me. So what I did, step one, this morning when I got up, I took probably about almost 2 pounds, 1.5 pounds of chicken breast that I bought from my local grocery. And I actually stuck it in a crock pot and I added, I don't know, maybe a little under a cup of chicken broth to my crock pot, and I cooked it on low for about 4 to 5 hours. That is the first step that I did today. So again, that's super easy, right? Because my crock pot is doing all of the work. Now, what I just done is I did drain my chicken. So I have chicken here in my bowl because I'm making low carb keto chicken salad. So I have chicken in my bowl. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to shred. So this chicken is already super tender, super tender. I could probably do this with a fork. So if you do not have a little mixer tool like this, don't worry, just use a fork and a knife or 2 forks. But I'm going to show you how simple it is to shred this. I'm going to turn this on and I am shredding it really quick. I just have my little mixer here on my blender on low. My handheld mixer, I guess you could call it, on low. And I'm just moving it around in the bowl to make my shredded chicken. So guys, when I found this trick out, I was like, who knew? You know, this is so easy. So here you go. I have shredded, it's nicely shredded, and it took me less than a minute, 2 minutes maybe. So I'm going to set this to the side. We're going to use this at the end to finish up the chicken salad. So easy peasy. The next thing I did, I set my oven on 400 degrees, and I'm going to get ready to show you how to make the bagels. So here are the ingredients you're going to need for the bagels. You're going to need 2.5 cups of mozzarella, and again, you can either buy the block and shred it yourself, or you can just buy the package. This is the packaged mozzarella, 2.5 cups. I have 2 ounces of cream cheese. And again, I just have a little scale and I just weighed the cream cheese, and it's 2 ounces. I have 1.5 cups of almond flour. I have 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder. And I have 2 eggs. And I have 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum. And I'm looking in here for, hang on guys, hang with me, hang tight, hang tight. All right, so this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your mozzarella cheese, you're gonna dump it in the bowl along with your cream cheese, and then you're gonna stick it in the microwave for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, but I'm gonna do 1 minute, and then I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna look at it. So I have a new microwave, so I've gotta learn how to use it. Uh-oh. All right, there we go. We're gonna microwave that mozzarella for about 2 minutes. And it's gonna slowly melt, and then I'm gonna bring it back over here and we're gonna mix it together. So super easy. Remember, I've shredded my chicken. We're gonna make chicken salad, and then I have the ingredients for the bagels. The other thing that I have is I do have this mold here. It's like a donut mold. You do not need this. You can use a pan, just a regular baking pan with a piece of parchment paper on it to make your bagels, and I will show you how to do that. So that was about 1 minute, and I'm just gonna mix this up. So if you look here, it's just a little bit melted. So that was 1 minute in the microwave, the cheese and the cream cheese. So it's blending nicely, but I'm gonna microwave it for 1 more minute. And maybe not even 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds. I'm gonna check on it though. So I'm just gonna mix that together, and what I want is I want the cream cheese and the mozzarella cheese to be nicely incorporated. Sometimes, guys, if you want, I do have gloves behind me. Sometimes if you put like a pair of gloves, and I will show you, if you have some gloves in your house, sometimes it's easier to put gloves on to also mix these together. So good, I'm gonna pop this in for about, I don't know, about 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And I'm just gonna keep incorporating this. Okay, good. So that's good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bigger bowl because I'm going to mix all my other ingredients together. So I have my my 2.5 cups of almond flour that I'm gonna put in my large bowl. I have 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder. So here's my baking powder I use. And this is tablespoons. So there's 1, and I'm guessing at 1.5 tablespoons of the baking powder. I'm gonna use 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum. And guys, xanthan gum is kind of like, makes things thicker, and it'll help the bagels raise a little bit fluffier. I'm gonna dump that in. And then I'm going to mix this together with a fork just to kind of incorporate all my dry ingredients. have 2 eggs, and I'm gonna incorporate my eggs into, actually I'm gonna put the eggs into my cheese mixture. It'll probably be easier to blend. So I always like cracking my eggs in a separate bowl, just if I were to get any shells, it's just gonna be easier to get the shells out. So 2 eggs, that's gonna go into my cheese mixture. And then I'm gonna mix that together. And I'm just gonna incorporate my eggs into my cheese and cream cheese. So this is what I have so far. It's nice and runny. So now I have my dry ingredients, and I'm going to put my mozzarella cheese into my dry ingredients. And I'm just gonna put all this to the side. So I am gonna use my glove. It's just gonna make my life easier. And I'm gonna mix the dough together. So the reason why I went ahead and shredded the chicken first and then set that to the side before I show you how to make the chicken salad is because once I get this dough mixed together and incorporated nicely, I'm going to stick it into the refrigerator so it can cool a little bit so it's easier for me to work with. So when I do this, and you know, you'll just have to kind of, what you're wanting is you're wanting more like, kind of like a cookie dough type texture. So you may have to knead it quite a bit to get that texture, that desired texture you want. Sometimes, guys, if it's runny, you may want to add a little flour, of the almond flour, and that'll help firm it up. So that's mixed together. And I'm just gonna get this off my hands here. So remember, I'm meal prepping for the week. We do have a short week ahead of us, but that's okay. So I am making chicken salad, and most of the time we do something on the grill, especially summertime. We'll do any type of seafood, burgers, and then we also have that as our second meal for the week. So I'm gonna put my dough in the refrigerator and let it cool just for a couple minutes while I'm making the chicken salad. So, as you see, I have my shredded chicken, and guys, if you're just jumping on and you did not see how I shredded this chicken, it's so easy and it's kind of fun. So make sure you watch the beginning of the video so you can check that out. I'm gonna go ahead real quick before I start mixing my chicken salad together. I'm gonna spray my pan that I'm using for my bagels. All right, so this is the mayo that I will be using. It's Duke's. It is high fat, and it's not all natural. Just for those of you that are doing keto and you're strict keto, make sure you grab a mayonnaise that is appropriate for you. And I need a spatula. So I'm just going, and again, guys, I don't measure this. I just make sure the chicken is wet enough for my desired consistency of chicken salad. And again, I have my handy dandy gloves. So I'm just going to mix my mayo into the chicken. And guys, you can season this chicken salad however you want. If you want to add, garlic powder, if you want to add onion powder, please do so. And I'm just going to keep mixing this together. So I've made a ton of chicken salad here. This will feed an entire family plus some probably. So it's becoming the desired consistency and texture that I want. And most of the time with chicken salad, sometimes it has to sit overnight. And the next day you may need to add a little more or, whatever you want to it. All right. So that looks pretty good. All right, so the next thing we're gonna add, or I'm gonna add, is I'm going to add some chopped celery that I chopped ahead of time. And this is probably about 3/4 of a cup. And if you wanted to add mustard, if you wanted to add hard-boiled eggs, you can do that. Now you want to make sure when you're adding your additional ingredients that you like to your chicken salad, you want to make sure you stay within the keto low carb ingredients. I also went ahead and I have a bag of walnuts. I did buy the walnuts that were already halved, and then what I did is I stuck them in this baggie, and I took a hammer and I just crunched them, kind of beat them a little bit more to where they're, finely chopped. So this meal for the week is almost finished. So there you have it. I have my chicken salad, which is finished. So guys, what is great with this is because I'm making the bagels, you can actually have a chicken salad sandwich on, as you cut the bagel or cut it in half, you can add your chicken salad to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator. And guys, if you like these recipes or you want me to share the recipe with you, just drop recipe down in the comment and I will get that recipe to you. I'll go ahead and message you on Facebook and send it to you. So I'm just going to clean up my mess here a little bit. All right, for the fun part. So what I'm going to do is I have these two mats. They're non-stick mats. And I'm going to put my dough in the middle of this. What it does is it keeps my hands just nice and clean. And then I'm going to knead it. When I feel this, I just kind of have that actually it's not sticking to my hands too bad. So when I feel this, a little bit of kind of tells me that I need to add a little bit more flour, but I'm going to continue to work the dough to see if I change my mind in just a few seconds. So it's coming together nicely. But I think I am going to add just a little bit more flour. Maybe if I can get the bag open. So I have a nice dough forming, and guys, what I really recommend, and just because I'm on video, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, but if you put this in your refrigerator after you make this dough for about 30 minutes, it's gonna be a little more friendlier to work with. Because what you're gonna do is, if you do not have a donut pan like I do, you're going to want to roll this out. So if you have these two mats, you're able to press it out just like that, and then you can cut it to make little round rings. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. So I just took a chunk of the dough, and now I'm rolling it between my hands. And you can even use this mat. And you're gonna make it nice and even, and then I'm gonna actually make this a little thicker. There we go. So I'm gonna roll this out, and then I'm gonna make a ring just like that. And then I'm gonna stick it in my donut holder. And guys, you can freeze this dough if you make it and it's quite a bit and you're like, oh no, I made too much. You can actually freeze the dough. So I'm just making nice long tubes, making sure they're just about the same size. I'm going to make that one a little bigger. You guys still hanging in there with me? So I also have a keto low carb group. If any of you want to be part of that group, just go ahead and drop a heart and I can add you to that group, and it has recipes in it. It has lots of information on how to start your journey. So far I have 6 bagels made. Let's see if I can get 3 more. I think we're gonna make it. All right. Good. So I have 9 bagels. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of butter and I'm going to melt that in the microwave, but I'm going to clean my hands off real quick. So I am going to get a bowl. Of course, this is a microwave safe bowl. And I'm going to take a little bit of butter and I'm just going to melt that. Just for about 10 seconds, I'm going to melt it. And then I'm going to grab a spoon. And then I'm just going to drizzle some of this butter over the top of my bagels. That way when I go to sprinkle the everything bagel seasoning on it, it's going to stick. And guys, if you don't have a spoon available, you can use your finger because you're just wanting to make the dough wet enough for the bagel seasoning to stick. Good. Perfect. And then I have my everything bagel seasoning. And I'm going to sprinkle that on top of each bagel. And you can sprinkle as much as you like. If you don't like the everything bagel seasoning flavor, the taste, you do not have to put it on top. So again, I have my oven set on 400. I've made my chicken salad. It's in the refrigerator, ready to go. I have my bagels all done and ready for the oven. I'm gonna actually stick these in the oven for anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. As I always say, everybody's oven is different, so you need to make sure and I always like to go 15 because I can always add time. You can never take time away once something is burned. It's kind of like cutting your hair. So I like to start at 15 and then work my way up to 20, 25 minutes. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven. And I'm gonna set my timer. And guys, that is it. So thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, again, drop them down in the comments. If you like these videos, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up and I will see you on Tuesday. Thanks for joining me.